We fumbled it, boys, man. Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal. Here we go. There we land. Ornstein Bomber. Hand of Arsenal. Hand of Ozil. Whoever's just everyone's reported it. It's done. That glimmer of hope that we had, that he was gonna join us, it's over. Victor Gyökeres, the guy who scored 39 league goals in 33 appearances. Yes, it's in Portugal, but who cares? He gets goals, and Arsenal have secured his services. I think it's an incredible signing. Well played, Arsenal. Well played. You know, they had him. They had Sesko. They were weighing up their options. They were playing about a little bit. You know, buying their time. If we won the Europa League final, we could have come in and swooped. We could have said, listen, we want you. Champions League football, come to us. By the way, just a reminder. Our prime targets, Gyökeres and Delap, one has joined Chelsea and is not even starting, but he still wanted to join Chelsea over us. And the other one has joined Arsenal and was willing to wait and take a pay cut to join Arsenal. Just so you don't know where we stand right now. So don't let anyone tell you that whoever we're going to go for is actually on the radar and it's option. No. But today, I'm going to give you some options. Ineos, Glazers, whoever's in charge, I'm going to give you some options. I went and did my research and I'm going to give you some options on who to sign as a striker because we need to move on. It is critical. I'm not having a transfer window where we don't sign a striker. I'm not having it. We need a striker and we need a good striker. I'm not taking people on a free. I'm not taking guys who had a prime, had a little decent few goals here and there. I'm not doing that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson, Jamie Vardy. I'm not doing that. I promise you, we are not doing that. You can't tell me there aren't options out there. When me, sitting at home in London, I've got a level 1 in coaching, I can find you strikers. So don't give me that nonsense. Can't believe we're not going to be seeing this at Old Trafford. Well, actually we might. First game of the season. We might see it at Old Trafford in an Arsenal top. Ineos, man. Prime targets. What's wrong with us? Why can't we get our prime targets? Liam Delap. Gyökeres. That's just this summer. Let's go back last summer. Michael Olise. We wanted Michael Olise. He was our prime target going into the transfer window. As far as April 2024, we were receiving reports that Man United were in love with Michael Olise. We wanted Michael Olise. Just let Bayern take him. Centre back. What happened to Branthwaite? We wanted him, no? Braithwaite, whatever flipping his name is. That was our prime target. Walked away. Maybe it worked out. In centre mid, don't you dare let anyone tell you that our prime, that the person they Ineos wanted or didn't. Don't let anyone tell you that Ineos didn't want João Neves as their prime target. Don't let anyone tell you that, because they did. They wanted João Neves and we settled for Ugarte. We actually funded PSG to go and get João Neves whilst we got Ugarte. But anyways, let's go through some players. Weigh up the comparisons, the options, and let's see who we can potentially go for. You know, recommended by Hussein. Because I'm telling you now, I'm not going into the season with Højlund as my number 9. I'm not doing it. And I'm not going into the season with Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Callum Wilson, or Jamie Vardy as my number 9. So I will take any of these options over that. Because don't you dare let us go into a season with no new striker and no new goalkeeper. The two biggest things as to why we finished 15th last season. Right, I got this lineup builder nonsense. Up front, you know what? I'm going to go through it each league. Let's have a little structure here. Each league, right? Let's start off with the Prem. Because our strategy so far this season has been go to these smaller clubs, you know, Wolves, and get their best player, Cunha. Go to these smaller clubs, Brentford, and get their best player, Mbeumo. Right? And I like that. I don't mind that at all. Players who are outperforming their team. Players who are playing way, way, way above their team and getting in crazy numbers. Respect. Let's get Mbeumo over the line, please, but respect. I like it. So let's stick to that. Right? And these are people who are available as well. So don't tell me there's no room for negotiation or whatever. My first target in this, the one I would want most, Jean-Philippe, please. Mateta. How many goals did he score? 14? 14 Premier League goals last season? Why are we not doing it? Why are we not doing it? A guy who knows the system, not even an inquiry. He knows the system. He plays the system with Palace under Glasner. 3 at the back, 5 at the back, whatever it is, transitional football, whatever it is you want to say, he's used to it. And he plays it exceptionally well. Exceptionally well. Finishes, won the FA Cup, 14 league goals, finishes really well, takes his chances really well. But not only that, his hold-up play is elite. Elite hold-up play. And he seems like a big character. We need that. I need that. I need that. Jean-Philippe Mateta would be my first option, and I don't know why we haven't inquired. I don't know why it hasn't moved on anywhere. Now that Gyökeres is completely out the equation, now that Delap is out of the equation, please rise, Man United. Tell me who are you gonna sign? Show me something in the next few weeks, please. Because from what we're hearing, from the reports we're hearing, after Mbeumo's signed and he's wrapped up, which has taken over 40 days, by the way, to even agree a fee. Let's see if we even agree one. But after that's done, then we're gonna move on to the striker. And after the striker, we're going to move on to a centre mid. Let's see if we get there. I don't know if they know that the transfer window has a time limit. I don't know if they know that. Has anyone told any of us that? Anyways, Mateta. The second option, you probably guessed it. Ollie Watkins. Another player that is available. Another player that is likely to move. Another player that we looked at. Arsenal looked at in January. Decided not to sign him. We could really do with Ollie Watkins. Leads the line well. Runs in the channels exceptionally well. Great on the ball. Obviously used to be a winger converted into a forward. Great on the ball. Quick. Good finisher. Ollie Watkins. Why? Furthermore, I want you to put in a double deal. Ollie Watkins and Emi Martinez. Bring. Over Højlund and Onana. Yes, please. Bring both. Ollie Watkins would be my second choice in the Premier League. It's rumoured that he's going to go to Saudi Arabia. We let that happen to Ivan Toney. He's still bagging. He's still bagging goals. Whether you like it or not, whether you say it's Saudi or not, he's still bagging goals. Won the AFC Champions League with Al Ahly. He's still bagging goals. And we could do with Ivan Toney. Are we going to let the same thing happen with Ollie Watkins? I think he's rumoured to go Al Hilal. Maybe. Inzaghi. Turn him into a beast. Ivan Toney still gets chosen for England, by the way. So, let's just say that. Ollie Watkins would be my second choice. Third choice is a bit of a rogue one. You're going to have to bear with me. Reports came out today that this club are open to selling him. And in all honesty, I never thought I'd say this, but I'd take Nicholas Jackson at Manchester United. I genuinely would. 10 league goals last season, if I'm not mistaken. Bags of potential. I really like him as a striker. I think he does everything well. He's got that bozo trait. I hear it. It's not the best. You know, sometimes in front of goal, messes it up. But he works hard. He runs like a dog. His movement is good. His finishing can be worked on, but it's still good. He still gets you goals. I think he's an Amarim type striker as well. Presses from the front. Runs in behind. That transitional football. Hasn't really been allowed to move much in Maresca's system. We know Maresca's very, very rigid. Could thrive on the Amarim. Available now. Chelsea have signed Liam Delap, so they've taken him away from us. And they've went and got João Pedro, who also, by the way, scored 10 league goals for Brighton last season. Took a punt on him. And this is what I don't understand. João Pedro just came out of nowhere. As in, Chelsea weren't really linked to him. Man United weren't really linked to him. The only team that was linked to him was Newcastle. It's the only team that was really linked to him. And the way he's performed at the Club World Cup right now, everyone missed out. If we're being honest, everyone missed out. Now, it might be different in the Premier League, but so far, player. Scored every game, I think, in the semi-final and in the final for Chelsea in the Club World Cup. So why can't we do the same? Why can't we go out and find these players that are like, you know what, let's take a chance. What are we losing? Nicholas Jackson would apparently Chelsea want 100 million for him. I don't think they would. I don't think they're going to get 100 million for him. My eyes, 2 separate deals. Garnacho goes, Jackson comes. It makes sense. Anyways, that's just within the Premier League. Let's move on. Let's go to Ligue 1. Let's go to there, shall we? Where is he? Gonçalo, whatever his name is. Goncalo, I don't care. Ramos. Get me Ramos. One of the best up-and-coming strikers at Benfica. Gone to PSG. Hasn't really worked out. When he plays for Portugal, still does well. Still does well when he plays for Portugal. Obviously, Ronaldo's in front of him in the pecking order. That's not going to change anytime soon, let's be real. Whilst he's still playing, he's still going to play for Portugal. But Ramos, I still think there's a player in there. I like his profile. I love his profile. Tall, striker, strong, but quick. Good on the ball. Can finish right, left, header. Great player. I think there's a great player. And this is what you're going to see. There's a consistent theme here of either proven players who have done it before. For example, an Ollie Watkins, a Mateta. But then you're also looking at players who can revive their career at Man United. There's a player in there. Nicholas Jackson, I genuinely think there's a player in there. Some of the best strikers have come out and said, I like Nicholas Jackson. You're going to laugh at me. I like him. I think he's a great player. I think there's a good player in there. Same with Ramos. I think there's a great player in there. Still young, by the way. How old is he? 23 maybe? I don't know. Again, 10 league goals, if I'm not mistaken, for PSG last season. And it's not a starter for them. Good option off the bench, but he's not starting anytime soon. Does he want to progress his career? Does he want to move on? You know, they signed him for a big fee. I think they're willing to take a risk and cut their losses. They've got a huge transfer budget this season, PSG. Huge. I don't think they're going to be penny pinching. Maybe we get him on a loan, obligation to buy, something that Man United don't do. I don't know why, or an option to buy. Why not? Offer him a way out. If he does well, great. We sign him. If not, at least PSG have put him on the market somehow. They've offered his services out somehow. Maybe someone will look at him and be like, oh, you know what? We'll take a chance on him. Why not inquire? Cool. Let's move on. There isn't really too many options in what's it called? In League A. There's another player I think called Kalimwendu, something like that. 17 league goals. I think Spurs are eyeing him up. Don't know much about him, so I couldn't really speak about him. So, anyways, let's move on to the Bundesliga. I know I'm not going to speak about Ekitike because I think he's destined for either Newcastle or Liverpool, and plus we just don't have the money like that. Let's be real. So, there's one player in the Bundesliga that I really like. I've spoken about him before, and that's Gyökeres. Gyökeres is someone who did it at Stuttgart. So you can't say, oh well, you know, he did it for a season at Stuttgart. Scored bags of goals. Yeah, I think broke the record for the most amount of goals in the first how many games in the Bundesliga. But then you can't really call him a one-hit wonder because he did it at Dortmund as well last season. Scored over 20 goals, I believe, in the Bundesliga alone. Finishing second to Harry Kane. Great player, great profile again. In our system right now, the most perfect ideal striker for me, in my eyes, is a target man who can play. A target man who can play. Or a target man who could just fizz the ball into him. He can either lay it off Mbeumo, lay it off Cunha, move into space, create space by moving. Gyökeres. All these guys have that in common. They're big strikers who can finish but also play and move. Gyökeres, Ramos, Mateta, Watkins. It's my type of player. I think Gyökeres would be a great option for United. And I genuinely don't think he would cost that much. 29, I think, years old. Going into, these are his peak years, let's be real. And I don't mind that as well. If we're not going to go out and sign the next big thing, if we're not going to go out and sign a 23, 24-year-old striker who's going to be the greatest striker in world football in the next few years, then I don't mind just getting a striker for the next 2 to 3 years. Don't give me a one season guy. Don't give me a guy like Calvert-Lewin, like Jamie Vardy, who's going to do it maybe even for a season, who's washed, their legs are gone. I don't want that. Or not even available. Callum Wilson. Injury prone. Again, Calvert-Lewin. Don't do that. Go out and sign a striker who is going to get us goals, who's going to climb the table, who's going to give us an actually good season. And then maybe in a year or two, maybe 3 years, cool. Then give us some time to go and find that next player. I don't mind that. But don't sign someone for the sake of signing. Don't just say, yeah, you know what? We didn't get anyone. It's coming towards the end of the window, which is reports we're hearing. If they don't get their ideal targets towards the end of the window, we're going to start looking at those 3 players in DCL, Wilson and Vardy. No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I'd rather give Obi Martin a chance. I'd rather give the new guy that we just flipping bought from France, that we signed on a free contract, beat off PSG and all these other teams. I'd rather give him a chance. What's the point? Gyökeres's prime age, 29, 29, 30 years old, however old he is. His peak years are now. Let him deliver straight from the get-go. Bam. Get those goals, double digits, hopefully. And then 2-3 years, buy us some time. I don't mind that. Bundesliga, move you to the side. I'm not a big fan of the Bundesliga, as you guys probably know. If you don't know, now you do. You can't blame me, man. Every time we sign from there, it's ass. Okay, cool. Next up, I think it's the last category. It's going to be the Serie A. Again, a league that, unfortunately, when strikers are signed from there, they just don't seem to hit the ground running in the Premier League. But let's give these two. Let's talk about these two. Moise Kean. I don't know. In all honesty, I don't know. His spell at Everton was horrible, but then again, Everton at that period of time were just bad. Everyone was just bad. So I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, because last season in the Serie A with Fiorentina, he scored 19 league goals. 19 league goals. Played very well in a very, very good Fiorentina side who, if I'm not mistaken, Conference League final or semi-final? Semi-final, right? Yeah, they lost to Betis, I think. There is a player in there. Whether you like it or not, there is a player in there. Whether it's attitude problems, whether it's whatever it is, there is a player in Moise Kean. And I think there's a release clause as well. 40 odd million pounds. For a striker who's 24, 25 years old, had a really good season, still hopefully years to come, years ahead, it's not the worst. It's not the worst price. Now, I can't tell you if Moise Kean is the right player we should be going for. I can't tell you that. I'd let the board, the actual people who are hired, probably getting paid 6-figure contracts a year to understand this kind of stuff and do their research and actually analyze whether he's a good fit or not. I'm not going to tell you whether he's a good fit or not. I'm just saying he's an option. Am I taking Moise Kean for £40 million over the three that I mentioned? 100%. Am I taking Moise Kean over another year with Højlund? 100%. Of course I am. That's a no-brainer for me. That's a no-brainer for me. 19 league goals. I'm taking that. I don't care. 25 years old, 24 years old. Resale value is still there. It's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. So there is I don't know if that's the right option, but there's a player there. There's a player there. There's an option there. That's what I'm going to say. There's an option. There's another option. There is another option. Not the most flipping best option, but there's an option. Vlahovic. £20 million. Vlahovic falls into that category, like I said. The target man, cool, all that kind of stuff. Goal getter. One thing you can't deny about Vlahovic, he is a goal getter. Does he miss chances? Yes. Has he had a bad year or two? 100%. Of course he has. Let's not deny that. Is he looking for a step now to really revive his career? Yes. And I mentioned like a Ramos, for example. And I mentioned like a, who else? Nicholas Jackson, for example. That type of player who can, this is my chance. There's a player in there, this is my chance. Let me really show what I'm about. Vlahovic, for 2-3 years, I'm not mad at it. It's a big club for him. It's a big chance. I'm not mad at it. £20 million, wouldn't be on crazy wages. There's even talks of Juventus even ending his contract. I wouldn't be crazy. Listen, it wouldn't be my ideal choice by any means. That's not what I'm saying. Ideal choice, I'm talking Mateta. Ideal choice, I'm talking Watkins. These are my type of ideal choice. We get our 2 prime targets, maybe an Ekatike, those types of players. Ramos. This isn't ideal, but it's an option. I'm offering something. Do you see where I'm coming from, please? I'm offering something. What are the board doing? They're telling us, they're prepping us, they're planting seeds about Callum Wilson, Jamie Vardy, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. That's what they're doing. I'm not doing that. I'm not settling for that. I'm sorry. A year that we knew was so crucial, a transfer window that we knew was so crucial to sign a striker. We're begging, we're crying for a striker. A position that's proved so important over the last year at Manchester United Football Club. Højlund, Xerxes, couldn't do it. They couldn't do it in the 9. We told ourselves, strikers are, it's a priority. You're telling us they're preparing us for potentially a window without a striker. No excuses. None. I've given you about 10 players here. I don't know how many players I've given you. Go out and sign one. If it's not Vlahovic, I don't care. If it's any of the other ones, I don't care. If it's Mitrovic, I don't care. If it's a player that is going to provide 10, 15 goals for us for the next 2-3 years, and then you go and sign the bad boy, great. The wonder kid, great. But I'm not doing another year with Rasmus Højlund. That's for sure. That I know. It's not an option. It's not an option for the fans, I'm sorry. And neither are the three that I mentioned. What, just because they're free agents, we're going to go and sign them? No. I'd rather take Edison Cavani back than any of them. I'll be real. I'm not doing it. And neither should you as a United fan. Guys, I need to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Have I missed out anyone? Am I sleeping on anyone in flipping South Korea, in Japan, in Australia, in Belgium, in Netherlands and Argentina? Let me know. I'm only one person. Like I said, I've got a level 1 in coaching. Maybe if I had a level 2, things would be different. But they're not right now. Let me know. Have I missed out anyone? If I've covered everyone, name them in order who would be your first to your last out of all the names that I mentioned. Please. I need to hear from you guys. I need someone to vent to. I'm venting to you. You vent to me. We speak together in the comments. You see I reply to the comments. Let's talk. Let me know what I should record soon because like I say, I cater to you guys and what you guys want to watch. And I will see you very, very, very soon.